A very pleasant afternoon to one and all present here, respected ma'am and all my dear friends. I am Sneha and I am going to present my topic Universalization of Secondary Education. So, before going to the topic, let us know the meaning of universalization in education. Universalization in education is the ability of all people to have equal opportunity in education, regardless of their social class, gender, background, or physical and mental disabilities. The term is used both in college admissions for the middle and lower classes and in assistive technology for the disabled. Some critics find this idea an example of political correctness. In order to facilitate the access of education to all countries have right to education. All children have right to gain education from the age of 14 to 18 years. Now, universalization of secondary education. Its aim is to provide the students of age group from 14 to 8 years with proper education. High Power Committee of CABE, that is Central Advisory Board of Education, was set up by the Ministry of Human Resource Development in September 6, 2004. It was the most important and advisory board of the Government of India in education and was first established in 1920 and was revised again in 1935 and has been in existence ever since. Shri Ghanshyam Tiwari at that time was the Minister of Education from Rajasthan and he was appointed as the chairman of committee. The main aim of the committee was to prepare a blueprint for the universalization of secondary education consequent upon the attainment of the universalization of elementary education. The committee shall give its recommendation within 6 months from the date of its constitutions. Now, let us see the curricular followed by the secondary and higher secondary schools. The curriculum must be according to the will of the students, like they have the right to choose their own subjects in their secondary stage, like science, arts, fine arts, commerce, engineering and home science. All students should be taught a language, general science, social studies and craft as core subject. Next is the four guiding principles that was followed by the universalization of education. First is universal access, equality and social justice, structural and curricular aspects, impact on the level of access, socio-cultural character, developmental objectives and structural curricular provisions of secondary educations all at the same time and throughout the nation. Now, the vision of the committee was to provide high quality secondary education to all Indian adolescent girls and boys up to the age of 16 by 2015 and up to the age of 18 by 2020. In populated areas, the secondary school must be built within 5 kilometers and high school must be within 7 to 10 kilometers. At the national level, the vision of the secondary education is to make good quality education available, accessible and affordable to all young persons. Ensure universal access to the secondary level by 2017. Organization of secondary education. There are 3 steps. First is the pre-university, second is technical school, third multipurpose schools. Pre-university, it suggested the abolition of higher secondary schools with university level classes and 11 should be added to high school with period of 1 year pre-university and 3 years of degree courses. Technical School Commission recommended that technical school should be started in large number and central technical institutions. Next is RMSA for universalization of secondary education. Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan or RMSA is to provide secondary education by establishing in every target to follow the infrastructure. First one, additional classroom must be there. Laboratories must be given to all the schools with full facilities and libraries must be provided with all kinds of books that are needed for both teachers and the students. Art and craft rooms must be there. Proper sanitation facilities should be there. Drinking water facilities should be given. Then residential hostels for the remote areas students should be provided. Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan or the National Mission of Secondary Education was centrally sponsored scheme for the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India for the development of secondary education in public schools throughout India. It was launched in March 2009. The scheme includes a multidimensional research, technical consulting, various implementations, and funding support to all types of resources to provide with students. At last, the conclusion part. Universalization of secondary education gives opportunity to move towards equity and make education important and common for all young peoples. It brings a concept of common school and encourages the children to learn more and more. Thank you.